love who you are. And then when you ask, when he says, hey, by the way, check out my new fitness plan or come see me at my convention, people just go in droves, like this guy, because they're sold on him already.
They like who you are.
They like who you are. It's not even about what you're selling anymore. Yeah, he runs a fitness company. He's making a killing off his fitness program and his supplements and whatnot. But people don't follow him or don't buy his products because it's a good product or because he's a good salesman. Well, I guess actually he's the ultimate salesman because he's figured it out. He's operating right within the means of this book, which is jab, 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 right hook. So most of his videos are giving people what they want, which is like an emotional like need. He makes you feel good. He gives his dad a car. Records the whole thing. He does all sorts of fun stuff with his girlfriend. They do all sorts of cool stuff. Give relationship advice. Give all sorts of stuff is not even related to nutrition or fitness. But yet he wins people over, kind of with their heart first. You know what I mean?
That's what it's all about, right? Emotion.
It really is. It really is. It's all about emotion. People make decisions emotionally 100% of the time. So, if it comes to like buying a fitness product, you're gonna, there's a million options out there. You got GNC, you got Complete Nutrition, you got millions of places, But they're more people that have watched his videos and have grown to love, appreciate, and respect this guy are going to buy his products and go to his events and go to his stuff just because of who he is. Pretty interesting. And he's only, 23, 24 years old?
24, yeah.
This kid's he's got it going on. You can learn something from 24-year-olds. He's funny because you hear him talking. He talks like a kid, like my 16-year-old son. This is how this kid talks. It's amazing. So, but yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's kind of like our little book club. Excellent book. I'd recommend it. Have you read this book before?
No, sir.
Oh, it's one of the best ones. Pretty much the best book. One of the best books I've ever read on how to build rapport, essentially, and how to, win friends and influence people. And so, Dave, Jason, you guys read the chapter in? Monica?
Yes.
Okay. Great. What did you think of the chapter?
I really liked it. The main principle I got from it was admitting one's own mistakes, even when one hasn't corrected them, can help convince someone to change his or her behavior.
Yeah, something humbling about it, right?
Yes.
When you go in and you say, look, I've made far worse mistakes. You know what I mean? And then you go into the area that you want to, hey, Lori, there you want to talk about. So, you just got to be upfront and humble, I think that's where it comes from, because I think if you've ever tried to criticize somebody and tell them, hey, you're doing something wrong, it just comes across as arrogance, And it's like, even if they're right, the person doesn't really hear it. Carl, did you get the chapter?
Yeah.
What did you think, my friend?
I thought it was real good. One story in there that I thought was pretty cool. They talked about this one guy whose secretary kept misspelling things, but instead of pointing it out, he said, "Yeah, I'm not sure about this one word. I always carry this with me to make sure I spell these things right, because people they look down on you if you don't spell things right." You never said anything to her about her misspelling.
Yeah.
But he used something, and it was a very subtle hint, and that she improved. I thought that was pretty cool.
My favorite story was the end of the chapter, where basically the gentleman caught his son getting into smoking cigarettes, and he didn't want to tell him don't do it or go into all the bad benefits, and he was being a bad example because he and his wife smoked cigarettes. And so he started off by just saying, just being upfront and honest with him, and said, look, cigarettes, nicotine has gotten the best of me, and it's beaten me. And he just went in and basically told him, that it had harmed him, and but it was nearly impossible for him to stop. I just don't know why I haven't been successful. And I was over there at the other company, and he told me once I find somebody that wants to buy a house to come and he'll help me, sell the house. He'll tell me what to do. But I never found anybody, And I said, okay, well, you know people, right? I mean, she's like, yeah. I mean, I got kids in soccer and football, and I go to church, and I go to all these things. And I said, okay, so those people that you know and that you've had communications with, do they know that you're real estate? She's like, yeah, I've told a lot of people, but they don't want to use me, or they haven't offered to help me, And I said, well, it's not so much that they haven't offered; it's that you haven't asked the right questions to unlock that. It's the conversations that you're having. All these people that are in your life, in your sphere, can be a resource for you, can refer you business or work with you, period, but you have to know the right thing to say, okay? And she already has a bit of a language barrier because she's from Puerto Rico. Her first language is Spanish, so she has a little bit of that language barrier, and she's a person that I think if she would just practice her conversations, she would be able to say the right things. Like almost every person she'd come across, well, hey, are you renting, or where are you at right now? Do you own your home? That's a question right now that can really dive in a little bit deeper to somebody's personal life, and you find out if you can help this person or not. If they're renting, well, gosh, tell them about how great it is to become a homeowner and all the great zero down programs and how you can get into a house for literally no money out of pocket. If they're a owner of their home, gosh, talk to them about the value and how much it's gone up in value, and that's value. That's information that they're going to really appreciate. But if you have a client, and I know we've talked about with some of the agents here that you've shown them a bunch of houses, but they're too afraid, or they're being really picky, or maybe you've had the listing out there and it's obviously overpriced, but they don't want to lower it. That's a decision that they have to make based off of emotions. Okay. And how do you unlock those emotions? Well, there's really only 7 emotions. I mean, there's fear, there's anger, there's happiness. I mean, but you have to kind of get to that emotional part for them to really say, you know what, I am ready to make this offer. You know what, I am ready to move forward on this house. You know what, I am ready to sell this place. I am ready to move on. And they're only going to make that decision if they find that emotion in them to really push them to do it. And I was thinking about early on in my career and the deals that I wasn't able to get through, and then the deals that I was able to. And most of the time, if I was able to get through to a person, it was because we had connected on some emotional level. It was we were talking about their kids and getting them to a better school, and that emotion of happiness, or that emotion of fear or uncertainty sometimes. I mean, there's positive and negative emotions, and when you're talking about relocating or moving, there's both those emotions in play. It's the fear of staying at that certain place where it's not a good situation, or you got crazy neighbors, or whatever the case may be. And so seems like we kind of, without knowing so much, that I've been able to connect a little bit deeper with folks and get to that emotional part of them, and that's helped them make that decision. So I feel sometimes like if you're not getting a response, or people aren't really responding to your advice, you're saying, well, we should do this, and they're like, no, not really, or I'm not quite ready, or it's not the right one, or it's not time. I think that you have to find that emotion in there, and you're just not getting to that emotional level, because if you do get to it, that's when the decision is made. That's when they say, you know what, you're right. I called you for a reason. I'm ready to make this happen. Let's go. And if you're not getting that, if you're not influencing people, I think it's a big part of it is you're not getting to them emotionally.
1,000 miles on it, and the past 2-3 months it's been breaking down on the highway. It's been rattling. His speedometer is broken, so he doesn't know how fast he's going, and he's put a lot of money into the car to keep it running. So I'm gonna climb the elevator. Is it gonna get a price for it? Yep, someday. This is a brand new car, so it comes with 48 months, 50,000, and it's not just a warranty; it's the oil changes, the tire rotation. So just tell Dad to come over here. We take care of the oil changes, tire rotation.
These YouTubers and these social media experts have done is found a way to connect with their consumer base. And it's just not done through commercials and billboards and things like that anymore. You know, it's done through things like this. He's got so many eyes, he's drawn in so much attention because he's creating an emotional response within people, you know? Isn't that amazing? So there's ways that we can do things like this too. And for the longest time I was wondering, you know, like, why, how do we create that same level of emotion, you know? And like for me in real estate, like I've seen, you know, a lot of people like that, or even some people even close to me that have like rented their whole lives.